So this is a bit awkward. We were all anticipating a big Nintendo Direct today. I was ready to stream it and everything, but in the middle of the night, Nintendo put out this tweet saying they are delaying the Direct until further notice due to the earthquakes currently going on in Japan. Obviously, we all understand safety needs to be the first concern, and we hope everyone over there is okay. I know some people they're upset, and I've seen them discuss even the fact that these directs are pre-taped, and couldn't they just stream it anyway? If you're in that boat, you do have a point. But one, things may not have been quite finished yet. But more so, I think this has to do out of respect for those people in Japan, both creators and just the public in general, which I think is the right choice. We had like 100 directs last month, guys. I think we'll survive if we have to wait a bit longer for the next one. So today I figured we could just talk about what we think we may see from this direct and what we want to see. Normally I don't usually do these prediction type videos for the directs because often they're announced so close to the actual date, it's like, I might as well just wait till the thing happens. But now since we really don't know when this thing is going to drop, let's chat about it. Leading up to it, in terms of new game announcements, let's start big. Animal Crossing seemed to be the one I've seen the most demand for on social media in that, which makes a lot of sense because this is one of the few big franchises at this point that has no representation on the Switch, or at least doesn't have a game announced. I mean, we've got stuff like Mario, Zelda, and Kirby now. Smash, Pokemon, Metroid, and Fire Emblem are all coming for sure. So Animal Crossing, has to be, should be at least, being discussed as one of the next big franchises to get a Switch release. I'm not really big into the series, but I think in terms of a new announcement, it's getting to be that time. However, if we are going to see a game that at least we haven't seen yet, I think the one I would probably put out there is Pikmin 4. We've been hearing about Pikmin 4. I don't even know how long at this point, and still nothing. So while Pikmin 4 has technically been, announced, we really haven't seen anything for it. Again, if you want to put that in that, new announcement category, I guess it's kind of a gray area, but that's the one I would say is probably the most likely. And actually, also don't forget that Star Fox racing game that was rumored for a while back. Obviously, it was just a rumor, but even back then, I felt like it was such an oddly specific rumor. I mean, who would be like, "Oh yeah, there's going to be a Star Fox racing game"? So I'm still not counting that one out quite yet. And speaking of the upcoming games and stuff we know about, personally, I'd really like to see more on Fire Emblem Three Houses. We've gotten just a little taste of it so far. I'm excited about it, but at times, it's like, I forget this game's even coming. Obviously, Metroid, anything for that I'd be down for. Still holding out hope for a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD collection for the Switch. That's actually, I guess, if you want to count that as a new title, that's something I'd be really pulling for. I've been pulling for it, though, pretty much during every Direct since Metroid Prime 4 was announced. Especially if 4 is going to be like a holiday release for next year or something, which I have a feeling it will. Let's give people the opportunity to use this time in the interim to catch up on the series in preparation for that 4th game. Like I said, I know I've talked about it like 100 times at this point, but I feel it makes so much sense. It's so obvious that it's going to be silly if they don't do this. That Daemon X Machina that got revealed at E3, I'd actually like to see more of that as well. We only saw a little bit during the E3 presentation, but they actually had a good chunk that they played through live during the Treehouse after that, so it looks like the game is pretty far along. And how about Yoshi? It's been a really long time since we've heard much about that. I just want to know that he's okay, and if you're in that boat with me, I believe you're going to be in luck. We're all going to be in luck. I actually think Yoshi has a great chance right now of showing up during this thing because apparently his game title was briefly updated on Nintendo's site to Yoshi's Crafted World. So it seems like this was intended to be paired with a reveal during the Direct. Obviously, with the delays and all that, things are going to get discombobulated. And it looks like this thing went up before it was supposed to. Well, maybe actually exactly when it was supposed to, but obviously they want to push that stuff back as well. So yeah, I think that Yoshi game will almost 100% be featured during the Direct. But while the new stuff is more so what gets us going, let's quickly discuss potential ports. Nintendo does love to port them some Wii U games to the Switch. We've heard many rumors lately that Super Mario Bros. U will be getting the Switch port treatment soon. I can hear your collective groans about that. If it's anything Mario, it really should be Mario Maker. I've been saying with the bigger install base, it just means you're going to get more awesome levels. Would love to see that. Me personally, what is left that I want to see port-wise? Definitely Wonderful 101. I think really, man, in terms of games that I'd like to see get a second shot, Wonderful 101 really deserves it. Platinum created a really solid, unique action game with that one, and not many people played it. Very few people did, so I have nothing to go off of with that, obviously, but that's the one I'd really like to see. Now let's talk about that online service. As far as we know, the online is still slated for that second half of September date. So now, especially with this thing being delayed, I think they really need to talk about it in this next Direct. Even if it wasn't the original plan, squeeze something in there. There's actually a bit of a rumor, more of an inference floating around that I think would be a smart strategy for them. Not the most substantial, but the Smash Pro Controller release date got updated on Best Buy yesterday and is currently showing a September 28th release. Still showing pickup on the 7th for me, but I do see the September 28th release when I look it up myself. But yeah, obviously the game is still coming December 7th, so it's like, what's the deal? Why would this release months ahead of that? And I have heard from some people who pre-ordered from them say their pre-orders were even updated. They're being told the pickup will be on the 28th of this month. It's really weird. It could coincide, though, with the launch of the online. Again, this is speculation, but September 28th would also fall in line with the second half of September deal. But why put out the Smash controller at that time as well? If they're smart, and Nintendo can be, they certainly can be, they may be planning to launch some sort of Smash demo alongside that service, which may be, I want to prepare you for this, it may end up being exclusive to subscribers. I know many of you wouldn't like that, but I also know many of you would pay up. I think you would pay $20 just to get your hands on some Smash a few months ahead of release. Either way, I can't fault them if they do it. A demo just in general, even if it was available to everybody, would cause a lot of buzz. And if they put it behind the subscription, it's going to sell a ton of subscriptions. Which, of course, finally, let's talk about Smash, the big discussion topic about any Direct going forward until the release of the game, and probably even for quite a while after, is inevitably going to be who may get announced for Smash. If somehow, some way, we did get an Animal Crossing game announced, I think it would make sense to put in another character from that franchise. Isabelle, I think, is the front runner there. Geno is probably the one I'd like to see the most out of who seems the most likely at this point, if that makes sense. Obviously, I'd love to just keep going down my personal list and get Shantae in next. But Geno, I think, would be awesome to see after, the character, the Super Mario RPG title as a franchise being, dormant for so long. However, I do wonder how they would get him in there if he does end up coming in. It would be really interesting, I think, to see how Geno's whole reveal trailer deal would go down. Rex and Pyra either separate or some combination of the two. Maybe they'll play sort of like Ice Climbers. They do kind of play like that in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a little bit. They also seem to have many people pulling for them. Perhaps if we get like any more Xenoblade news, an X-port perhaps? The pair is quickly kind of becoming two of the figureheads of this franchise. So I do think if we got more Xenoblade, they would make sense to put in there. And yeah, like I said, I've seen a ton of support for them. Obviously with Smash characters though, we could go on forever. So I'll just cut it there for now. Definitely let me know your Smash picks though. because with that, this video is a wrap. Yeah, it's a bummer that the Direct was delayed, but that just gives us more time to build it up in our minds and ultimately be disappointed when the day actually comes, which is really the point of these things, isn't it? Hey guys, I know you didn't enjoy hearing the news of the Direct getting delayed, but I hope you still managed to enjoy this video. If you did and are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up on Twitter at Johnny Zakari and join my Discord, Shy Guy and Friends. Link to both in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.